3, 2, 1. Yo, what's happening, guys? It's your boy Wolfie here. We are back. Now, if the first thing you can do on this video, as always, is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also hit that bell so you do get a notification every time I do drop a new video. And also, my Twitch is down in the description below if you want to go and hit that follow. We are very close to 16,000 followers on Twitch, which is like a huge achievement for me. So, big ups, man, for all the support. And also, I just want to say, right, in this video, it's going to be a bit weird, okay, because I'm going to show you how to beat drop back, okay. But the custom tactics that I'm going to show you are a bit different to the ones that you're going to see for because I've got some gameplay highlights, okay? So, for the first, like, 2 minutes of the gameplay highlights, I am using the 4-2-3-1 formation. But what I found to struggle with, especially with people that are using drop back and in terms of in slow and heavy gameplay, the 4-2-3-1 just doesn't really seem to be working that well against it. It does in some games and not others. What you then are going to see is, in the second half of the video, me switching to the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, which I just find to be a hell of a lot more consistent and a hell of a lot better when playing against drop back, okay? The reason for this is because it gives you the two strikers, it gives you the cam, it gives you that triangle that you've got, and it also gives you a lot more options in the middle, because what a lot of people will do when they are dropping back is they will start to panic the more that you start passing it around their box. And with the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, you have a lot more passing lanes to pass it around the box and stuff like that. So for me, probably the best formation to use against drop back. This is the team that you're seeing on the screen. This is my road to glory, by the way. A bit of a spoiler if you guys are going to want to be watching the gameplay highlights in the next few days. This is the team that we are rocking with at the moment. We've actually had an awful weekend, if I'm being real. We are currently 17-3. Awful weekend. But I just want to say, right, Jadon Sancho, Marco Reus, and Serge Gnabry. Oh my lord. They are absolutely incredible. And I don't even care if I lose a lot of money on them, because if I'm being honest, I don't actually think I'm ever going to sell these cards, this front three. Maybe I'll sell Gnabry for someone else in the meantime. But Sancho and Marco Reus 100% are never leaving the team, okay? So this is how I do set it up in game. And these are the custom tactics to use when someone is playing drop back against you, okay? I'm using these custom tactics all the time at the moment anyway. But of course, I'm a pro player and stuff like this. I'm able to get away with having a high depth on my defensive line. If any of you do really struggle defensively, I wouldn't really recommend using these custom tactics. Or I'd recommend using these tactics, but just lowering the depth a little bit, okay? So I do play pressure on heavy touch. I know you're looking at this and you're probably thinking, what the hell are these? I've been using these now for the last 15 weekend league games and I've only lost one. I've gone 14-1 playing 4-1-2-1-2 narrow with these custom tactics, okay? Honestly, just trust me. Right, pressure on heavy touch. What this then does is when your opponent makes a mistake, your team will go team press for about 10 in-game seconds. No, about 5 real-life seconds, which is really effective. If your opponent then starts panicking, you'll have a lot more opportunities to win the ball back and stuff like that. So pressure on heavy touch, 5 width, 7 depth. Now, if you are someone that really struggles defensively, I would lower the depth to 5, okay? There isn't too much difference in the depth between 5 and 7 at all. But with 7, I just like to be on my opponents. I like to, like, suffocate my opponent in terms of him not having any passing lanes, not having any options and stuff like that. Balanced, 5 and 5 on the width of players in the box. 2 corners and 2 free kicks. Or I'm thinking of even lowering that down to 1 because I'm sick of getting countered from my own corners and conceding a goal if I give the ball away. It is so annoying. That is the 4-1-2-1-2. This is how I set it up in game. Witsel CDM, Kimmich right centre mid, Muller left centre mid. I did actually try Team of the Season Havertz at the start instead of Muller, but I just didn't like Havertz. Muller just suits, he's like more suited to the left centre mid in the narrow a hell of a lot more than Havertz. He really is. Sancho in cam and Gnabry and Reus up front. I was going to play Gnabry cam at the start, but I'm really happy that I chose this 3. This team is perfect. It just works, okay? Now, this is where it gets interesting. On the custom tactics, you are going to want drift wide on both of your strikers and get in behind on both of your strikers. What this will do is it will stop it being so narrow, okay? It will mean your strikers, like what it says on the tin, they will drift wide and it will create more space in the middle for your cam to occupy and stuff like that. It's really effective. I was a bit wary of the drift wide at the start until I tried it for a game or two and I was like, man, yeah, these work. So drift wide and get in behind on your on both of your strikers. Stay forward and get into the box full cross on your cam, okay? You want both of your left centre mid and right centre mid on all default settings. And then you want cover wing on the defensive option. And then your CDM, you're going to want cut passing lanes, stay back while attacking, and cover centre. And then on your fullbacks, as always, stay back while attacking and overlap. These, for me, are the best custom tactics that I use against drawback. And it's actually now the custom tactics I just use straight away from minute 1. Because I just want to have some fun, and it's really an attacking way to play FIFA, and I'm a really good attacker anyway, so it really complements my playstyle. If you're someone that struggles defensively, as I've already said, lower the depth probably about down to a 5 instead of a 7, and that will definitely help. What you are now going to see, boys, is the gameplay highlights that I show you how to break down the drop back. Like I said, the first 2.5 minutes of this are me using the 4-2-3-1. So, kind of, not ignore it, but just remember I'm not using the narrow in these first 2-minute clips because I've always been a 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2 kind of guy. I used to play 4-1-2-1-2 narrow a lot on old FIFAs. I just felt like it didn't really work on this FIFA until I then used these custom tactics, and my God, do they work. But one thing you want to do, okay, is I know that this goal's really cheesed, like in terms of it's absolutely honking. But you see how Dino really attacks the byline. I say it a lot in a lot of my attacking tutorials. You are going to want to attack the byline as much as you possibly can. It's a really effective way to score on this FIFA, is just running down the line. You see me here with R9, I will just attack the byline. Look, bang. Try and attack that byline. Don't be afraid to just continually do accelerated fake shots and stuff like this. And also, when you're playing against someone using drop back, okay, don't be afraid to pass the ball back to create the space. I only scored that goal because I passed the ball back from Dino into N'Golo Kante there, okay? It's honestly, people don't realise, but actually when you're patient and you slow the game down, it sometimes actually works in your favour against drop back. Also, another key tip when you are coming up against drop back opponents, you take advantage of the free kicks and corners you get. Always, in my opinion, always pass it short from the corners. I score a lot of goals like you've just seen there with Cruyff, where I just get the ball into the box and look for the shooting angle straight away. You see me here attacking the byline as always. I'm actually just repping him a little bit. Absolutely wrecking him. Neymar back to R9 into Dino. What can Dino do? Accelerate, step over, boom. Also, when you're in that position, do not be afraid to waz out a skill move. You see the accelerate, step over was really nice in that angle. And as always, if you have ever watched any of my attacking or shooting tutorials, do not be afraid to shoot near post. Shoot near post as much as you possibly can. And you see me here, look, going backwards. Why am I going backwards? I'm trying to create the angle. You see how many guys this bloke's got around his defence? Like, what is this? And what am I going to do here? Near post, okay? When you shoot near post on FIFA 20, it's just a much more higher success rate than any other shot. It's actually mad when you think about it. Like, some of the goals I score from near post make me feel sick. I'm like, how's that gone in? Like, really? But they do, trust me. You see me here being patient, R9. Don't be afraid to do this. You see how I'm just dribbling around? Don't be afraid to dribble and just kind of like bait your opponent out. You haven't always got to rush the play, believe you me. Like, you see me being patient here. Then when you get the ball here, this is when you then need to do the scoop turn, the elastico, a drag back, any of the skill move there to beat that defender. And then as always, where am I going to shoot? Let me know in the comment section down below where I'm going to be shooting and where you are going to be shooting if you want to improve at FIFA. I'll give you a clue. It begins with N and ends in T. Wait, yeah. I'm an idiot, innit? But you see me here. Don't be afraid to just drive at your opposition, okay? You see me here. Back to R9. Boom. Cruyff. You see how with Cruyff, I just upped the pace. I just thought, you know what? There's not a lot going on. I'm just going to drive at him in that centre of the park. Do not be afraid to do that because it really does work. Now, this is where we now change into the narrow. You see me here on my RTG account with the Bundesliga boys. You see Havertz into Sancho. The narrow just gives you this option, by the way. Look at this goal. Look. Beautiful ball. Sancho. Back to Gnabry. Bang. How nice is that goal? One thing you need to do sometimes, I know I'm going to contradict myself because sometimes I'm going to tell you to play slow, but also when you have the opportunity to play quick, okay? You see me here, when the gameplay's good, absolutely wrecking into Marco Reus. That was actually meant to go to Sancho, but we take it. 4-0 up. Easy as you like. Sancho, by the way, boys, team of the season Sancho and team of the season Royce are absolutely incredible, I promise you. They are so sick. It's actually ridiculous how good they are. I didn't really think they'd be this good, how good they are. They've actually blown me away. You see here with the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, you see how you've always got a pass on. Don't be afraid to use your fullbacks in the narrow, okay? Your fullbacks will be open a lot of the time because a lot of the opposition will be struggling with the players in the middle of the park, so don't be afraid to do that. And also, what you're going to do here, shoot near post. The big thing when you are playing against someone with drop back is you need to take your chances because chances will be few and far between. So to increase the likelihood of scoring these chances when you are playing against the drop back, shoot near post, I promise you. You see me here. Don't be afraid to try and drag your opponent out. You see me being patient a little bit. And then when you get into a certain area like here, this is when you need to start upping in the pace a little bit. See? Boom, boom, boom. But as soon as you get into like that 30 yards out, 40 yards out from goal, that's when you need to start upping the pace a little bit. A little bit of one-touch passing. A little bit of first-time fake shots. Because a lot of people that play drop back, they aren't good defenders. Hence why they're using drop back. Because they need to try and get so many people behind the ball as they possibly can. So you need to take advantage of that. Don't be afraid to have some fun, okay? You see that goal there with Marco Reus? They're only 2-1 up at this point. Don't be afraid to have some fun. Do a little fake shot around the keeper and around his defenders. Have some fun with it. I promise you, the more fun you have on this game, the better you'll be at this game. You see here with Sancho. As always, attack the byline. But when there is some space in the box, don't be afraid to use this space here. We get a bit lucky with this goal, but this goal was nice. You see here? Little flick on the right stick. What's Marco Reus got in his locker? And of course he quits. But in terms of the drop back, do not be afraid to... When you're in this area here, you can up the pace. But when you're just passing the ball around the middle of the park, don't be afraid to be patient. Wait for him to drag players out. Here as well, where are you going to shoot, boys? In the YouTube comment section, let me know. Where are you going to shoot when you're in this angle? Near post all the time. The most consistent way of scoring on this game without a shadow of a doubt. You see here... When you're playing against drop back and he actually has shots to attack you for once, don't be afraid to really hit them on the counter attack at speed, because the counter attacks are so effective on FIFA 20. So when your opponent that is playing drop back finally pushes some men forward to score, you see here, look, let me rewind it a little bit. You see here how he's in the attack, okay? Don't be afraid to literally go bang. Oh, we've got a counter attack on here. Little first time pass to Havertz. And then look, I'm looking for the pass, and then bam, Marco Reus has gone. Play that first time through ball through. And then here, I know Van Dijk's catching me up. Do a skill move around him, and don't be afraid to bang it on the finesse. And that is going to be the end of the video, guys. If you did enjoy it, please hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. Let me know what type of videos you do want in the future. I think this beating drop back is I think this video will do well, because I think a lot of people will enjoy it. So if you did enjoy it, please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Peace.